What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here. So in this run, I'm just showing a solo flawless run of the 0 hour mission. As you saw, I had a reserve chest piece on. That will give me 12 rockets on galley instead of 9. And that is actually really significant for this opening part, as you'll see. So in this opening area, we just shoot a couple galleys. I've got Withering Blade on, so I chuck that out to hopefully hit something and get Radiant, but I miss everything. But that's alright. This wasn't the cleanest section I've had. With Gjallarhorn, it just kind of spray and play, so sometimes the ads line up nicer. But as long as you're coming out of here around 20 minutes, you're more than fine. We have lots of time in this run. I actually ran this a few times to try to figure out the best strat. And I actually fully recorded a commentary where I had one death, but I thought I'd just run it back and show what you should do in the boss room so that you don't die. So anyways, here again, we just spray our Gjallarhorn, and I've got Sudorachne's Facade on with Grapple Grenade and the Strand Super, and then I switched to Celestial Nighthawk in the boss room with Wild Hunt and obviously a Golden Gun Super. So there again, oh man, I didn't realize how much I messed up in this one. So this was by far the ugliest opening section. So normally that Tracer Shank is not so hard to kill, and I don't waste the rocket sending out of that Heavy Shank until the end. And then I will just throw a melee on the Brig to proc Radiant, and I shoot a galley, and it takes out all those ads that are beside it. Where that time I had to rotate, so I figured I would just shoot a galley at the Heavy Shank, and I missed. But either way, again, as long as you're coming out of here with around 19 minutes, you're fine. So I have a Succession on, and you can see once the Brig's face fell off, you can absolutely melt it. And then Succession is excellent here because we take out a whole bunch of the Vandals and the Tracer Shank. And then just try to get as many ads down as you can. And then we fire Galley. So here, we wouldn't have Galley if we didn't put on those reserves. And you can see it just takes out a bunch of enemies. And then we just go in with our Super. So again, I did beat this trying a different strat. So I actually had Celestial on like the whole way. And it allows me to melt that Brig, which is nice. Or you can do that Super like I did. So both times I was able to clear it with plenty of time to spare. It's just whatever you prefer. So if you just want to go Celestial, go right ahead. So then I pop Transcendence for the extra damage boost, and it will allow me to keep proccing Radiant over and over again. And we have a decent amount of Succession, and then you can see once we have Radiant plus that Transcendence boost, we're hitting over 100,000 on the crit. So there, I don't know why I didn't swap to Mountaintop. I kind of thought about it, but you do need Mountaintop after this. And then I swapped to an Eager Edge Sword. So Mountaintop is going to allow us to do the traversal a little quicker. So here we're just killing ads and whatever. It's very straightforward. If you have a Lead from Gold Volt Shot or any Volt Shot Indebted Kindness, it's awesome. Or just any Indebted Kindness, or you could use the Call. And you don't have to use a Succession, you could use a different sniper. It's really about like whatever you have. So yeah, like I was saying, I have an Eager Edge Sword on, so when I solo flawless this last season, I was in the middle of moving and Pantheon was going on, and yeah, I was just very, very busy. So I pretty much got my solo flawless clear done, and that was it. And I did it very early on after the mission came out, like the first day or two. Yeah, also the railings are really annoying on rocket sidearms. So yeah, I did it in the first day or two, and obviously I've seen like some strats since, so I really wanted to use these Mountaintop strats, because they do save a lot of time, as you'll see. And one thing I didn't mention, I do have Radiant Orbs on, so in that first or second room, I had picked up an orb, and yeah, that's just going to give you Radiant, so that's really nice, and obviously I have Arc Siphon, because I'm just mowing things down with Indebted Kindness. So unfortunately, we didn't get any heavy drops, so we're not going to be able to Eager too much, but it doesn't matter. I beat this completely without Eager Edge. That other run I did, I didn't use Eager, but it is really nice here, because it gets you across, so that's a few seconds time save right there. And then I do get some ammo later in the run, so you'll see that it's handy, but it's far from a requirement. So here I go right instead of left. That's the first big change, and probably the biggest time save in this traversal. So then you jump over here. Normally I Eager across, but since I only have one shot, I'm saving it. Here I swapped to mountaintop, and thank goodness I don't lose all my ammo. So we do a little mountaintop bunny hop and then just jump our way to the top. I have actually made it right to the top with the bunny hop, so the height you get, if you're better with it, you'll be consistent, but I haven't used it much, so I'm a little inconsistent. So here I decided to just eager and then use a grapple, and then I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, so I decided to just go in there. But you can do this part however you like. And then because we have the strand super, I'm actually going to have my grapple for outside, so you can use that to get past this wall fairly quickly. Don't use it to clear the whole wall because your grapple doesn't come back in time and you'll fall and die. But you'll see how I use it. And I think I actually use it to save myself, if I remember, because I kind of messed up. So yeah, just taking these jumps slow. Again, there, I get my super just in time. I am running 100 discipline too, so that I can get the grapple. And again, in the boss room, I did use grapple grenades. And I was like, oh, they weren't really doing anything. But I think I would just keep it on just for getting out of a jam. So yeah, there, I screw up because I wasn't sprinting when I jumped off that thing. And then it messed my timing up. So normally I run across this. Oh, never mind. That was a different run. So here I just decided to pop it right away and just use my grapple to get across. And then there's these guys. I also have Threaded Spectre on. So sometimes I just dodge right there and then they'll go after the decoy and explode. So that's one way to get around them. You can kill them. You can just run past them like I did, even without your super if you're fast enough. Yeah, there's lots of ways. But yeah, the super is really nice for that part because you can just do what I did and it makes it really easy. And that's one thing I love about Prismatic is it gives us grapple grenades, which is great in here. So yeah, like last season, I think I actually did it on Solar Warlock. Maybe I think I did a Warlock run and a Hunter run. I don't think I had time for the Titan. And one I had died, but then the other was the flawless clear, I think. But anyways, yeah, I was really excited to run it on Prismatic Hunter because I love this build and I wanted to try Still Hunt. And there you can see we got some ammo, so that was lucky. So when I killed that one shank and took damage, that's because I was trying to kill it and be as close to it as possible, because when they do drop ammo, if you're not close to them, they often just fall down the fan and you miss it. So that's annoying. So that's why I killed it when I was very close to it. But anyways, here again, you can see us grapple the gap, so it saves us a few seconds. We use an eager edge in the vents to save another second or two, and then we're going to use it throughout Trevor. Again, you don't need to do this at all. If you follow the same path, you don't need eagers at all to like get away from him or anything. Just go with this route. So obviously we wait for him to pass, and then we're going to go left and follow behind him. If you run into the back of him, he will kill you, so just be wary of that. And then we're just going to use our eagers to get around. There, I overshot the door. So you don't have to use an eager after you activate this first button, because it's going to do this electrifying wall anyways, so you're just not going to beat that. So just save your eager swings. And then once we're out, we're going to eager down the pathway again, go into this door. I should have eagered here. That would have saved, again, another second or two, but I didn't. And then here you can eager because the electrification door doesn't come up. And then we're just going to cross the gap here. And then we're going to go right and then left. So again, if you follow this path, even without eager edge, it makes it totally fine. You'll see if you're too fast, you'll actually have to wait on Trevor anyways, as I'll show. But yeah, I am really liking Prismatic. And so last season we had Solo Operative. We had like the easiest way to get Radiant ever with like Flint Striker, I think it was called. And we had Revitalizing Blast for 15% weaken. So I was like, damn, this mission's going to be hard in the future. And I haven't soloed it on anything other than Solar or Prismatic. But Prismatic definitely makes it easier. This was a pretty quick run, and even one of my practice runs where I died, I was like 17 minutes. So here, like I was saying, if you're too fast, you're going to have to wait on Trevor anyways. So that's like perfect timing with some eager swings. He just starts turning around as you're getting to the door. So I just hop on this elevator, and I let it go up twice. I have let it go up once, and I've made it with a bunny hop and a grapple. But then another time I did it, I didn't quite make it. So just let it go up twice. Like it does the thing, stops, then it does the thing again and stops. So yeah, wait for it to do that twice. So then you just bunny hop, grapple, and then you're up. So there's another time save. And if I had more sword, I could be sword swinging through these vents. And then here, I can't remember if I sword. Yeah, I do. So again, these are very minor time gains, and it's not overly needed. Like I said, I did a run without Eager, and it was completely fine. So then I'm going to use one here, and I wish I had a grapple, but I didn't have it back in time, which is fine. So that was the Arc Surge floor puzzle, or Arc Threat. So depending what day you do it, there I messed up my grapple. Depending what day you do it, that path on the floor will be different, and Arc Surge is probably the worst day to do it. So here I swapped to Celestial, and I put on triple Arc Reserves, and look, I don't swap back to my Resist chest piece. So that was the first mistake, and then you do have to reload your guns. So I have Mountaintop, Still Hunt, and a Reconstruction Sword Logic machine gun that puts in a ton of work. So we're just going to take out all the adds. So I actually ran this boss room a few times, and this, in my opinion, is the best strat, and I'll talk about why. Because some other things I was doing weren't quite as optimal. So I think I figured out like the best way to approach this boss with this loadout. With different loadouts, obviously, you do different things. But anyways, I take out the turrets with Mountaintop, I take out all the adds. I see there's still one add up, so I'm just like, let's just take him out. So what I'm gonna do is a Still Hunt super shot. So I procced Radiant, then we're gonna hit him. Now, there, I almost die because I forget the trip mines are coming in. So don't do what I did there. Back up, and then shoot your Still Hunt shot. So I just recover. Now I'm gonna proc Radiant again. If you do no damage to this servitor and just try to Celestial it, it will not die. But if you proc Radiant, then you'll get the kill, and then you get that 33% regen because of Celestial Nighthawk. So you definitely want to do that. So here, so that guy goes right to the back. So that's one thing you have to be aware of. You do so much damage with a Radiant Still Hunt super shot with Celestial that he actually skips like a phase. And because I have a solar thing, see I have Restoration. So I have a solar super on, and then I have whatever fragment it is that gives you resto when you pick up an orb of power. So yeah, I only have 16 recov on this build, which is super low. So it was a little sketchy there, taking out those shanks, but we got it done. So here, you're probably like, why not just shoot your Still Hunt super bullet and take out this guy? And that's a great question, and I probably should have. So what was happening before was I would be stacking up my Still Hunt shots on that servitor, so it was usually half health. So I was like, well, I don't want to waste my awesome shot taking out the servitor when he's already half health. But yeah, I just used Mountaintop because I want to have my Cade's Retribution shot ready for when I need it. So here we're getting a Celestial back, but we're not going to use it because if you use it on this side, the boss is only going to take so much damage. He's like damage gated. So if I were to do a full shot, he's just gonna still go to mid, and I'm gonna have to do like full damage to him still to get him to move. So don't waste a Celestial or a Still Hunt shot on the boss when he's over here, because he's still got to transport back to the middle where he starts. So now these adds spawn in as we hit that damage gate. So now we're gonna take out these shanks, and they're arc shielded, so you can see just how quickly the machine gun took them down. And I'm taking out all these mines. Like, yes, I could be quicker, but I'm just trying to have like a clean area to work here. So we get all the Marauders down, and then we're gonna get our Radiant Orb, and we're gonna take these guys out. And I think I screw up because once you take all the enemies out, I think some more might spawn. I can't quite remember. So anyways, there we proc Radiant and we shoot him. Plus I have 2 Solar Surges on. So, oh, what I was saying about the ads spawning, I think it might be a time thing. So once he's up there, if I hadn't sent him so quickly, eventually the ads come in. Oh, or maybe these were the ads. So that ad spawn, I'm not totally 100% sure on, or maybe they spawn in with the walkers, but they spawned in at a real shit time because I was just about to go up there and kill that walker with my Cade's Retribution. So this is a big time loss, big time loss. because if I could have just got a walker down. This room is much easier once one walker's down. So I basically wasted a bunch of shots because now I got to take out another leg anyways, and I'm not getting any Cage Retribution. Because if you just shoot it in the leg with Cage Retribution, I did try that, and it doesn't kill them. So there, I get the leg. Now I'm going to hop up top, and something's shooting me, so I'm like, oh fuck. And then we get blasted into the wall, which actually does a bunch of damage. But the reason I went there is because even if there's a whole bunch of weird stuff, like when the Brig's face falls off, sometimes you're shooting and you're just getting bullets that aren't hitting anything. There's like invisible things that you're hitting. So I was shooting the walker in the crit one time and I was not hitting crits just because I was hitting something invisible. So that's why I lined up like on that side, so I was sure I would hit my crit. So here, again, I'm trying to get a bit of high ground. Unfortunately, I don't proc Radiant because I hit him in the body instead of the weak spot where he actually takes damage. So it would have killed outright, but instead we just have to follow up with one more shot. So now, this is why I never popped Celestial like that whole time, because you absolutely want to save your Celestial for the Servitor. You don't have to. I beat it without doing that, but it makes it a hell of a lot easier if you do save it. So now I've got my golden gun, so I'm just taking things out. And again, just making the area clean so I won't get flinched off my shot or anything stupid happen. So even still, I'm taking a ton of damage from the right because I didn't notice the Marauders. So yeah, do what I say, not what I did there. Because ideally, all those Marauders and everything would have been dead, and then I would have shot that guy. But at the end of the day, I still hit the crit. So now we have our 33% back on our Goldie, and we're just going to take out a bunch of ads. And now these other ads spawn in. So I've done this part two different ways as well. I've done it where I take out the ads first and then go to the Brig. And I've done it where I take the Brig first and then deal with the ads. Whatever you want to do is up to you. It's like completely your call. So what I'm doing is I'm taking out all the Vandals because they're the only things that can actually shoot me back here. So just keep rotating and not letting the Brig hit you with his mines or whatever he's dropping from afar. And then I move up, I throw my melee, and that's proccing me Radiant. I pop Prismatic, so we're getting that extra 5% damage. I keep chucking my Prismatic Grenade just for extra damage. So I was running the weaken melee, but it doesn't hit nearly as easy from this distance. Like, I love that Void weaken melee. You will hit harder. So here, I was trying to reload, and I thought I had Cage Retribution, but I guess I was one shot short. And then by the time I actually realized that, I shot it, reloaded, and then I didn't have a melee. So again, if I had had a Radiant there, that boss probably falls over from the big shot. So that pissed me off because it looked on the thing like I think my counter was even closer than it was there. See on the left, Cage Retribution. So like I said, I thought I had my super, so that's what happened there. I wanted to proc Radiant, but I didn't. So anyways, we just clean up all the ads. There's one Vandal left, and I didn't even have to use my Celestial in the end. But if you did, you'd have time to, because you can see still 2 minutes 16 seconds remaining. So yeah, this one wasn't quite as quick as that one run I did, but it was a lot smoother. I didn't have as many mistakes, and I think I did a good job of like pointing out where the mistakes were and just how to make that room as manageable as possible. And there, as you can see, I don't have my proper chest piece on. I have the Arc Reserve chest piece, so that was silly. Anyways, if you're still watching, thanks for watching to the end. Take care.